Okay.
Okay, you two are on live now.
Yo, alright. I don't know how he should give me a countdown so I can start counting.
I don't know how either of us are going
That's
to get a
fine.
countdown. I need to start the timer, and you need to do commentary.
Alright.
Just type it into the chat or something. I don't know.
Yeah, just type into the chat like 3, 2, 1.
I don't even. It worked for the first guy. I'm paying attention to like every chat at once now because I got like 5 million monitors.
Let's see.
Okay, you count him in then.
Yeah, I count him down. I hope you're ready, Vlag. So, 3, 2, 1, go. Just gonna wait.
Oh, okay, yes, go.
Let's see if he starts.
Take it away.
Okay, so this is Link's Awakening DX. That's the remake for the original game, Link's Awakening. We start off waking up in a bed, and we don't know where we are, but then this girl talks to us, says like, hey, you stranded here, and you were sleeping, so I took you in. Says some other stuff too, and this guy gives us our first item. It's a shield. And with the shield, we're first going to get our sword, and that's on the beach. I'm going to talk a little bit about the category he's running. It's no save and quit, no wrong warp, and no out of bounds. So that means he obviously can't save and quit. And no wrong warp is the I don't know if you know a glitch. You can go behind the doghouse and enter it, and you get to a really weird glitchy place, and that's considered wrong warping. And out of bounds is obviously you can't go onto ceilings that are not normally reachable, so that's banned. And here what he did is he damage boost into the sea urchin there, and that made it so that he can acquire the sword before the owl flies away, so it saves like a second. So that's what we call quick sword. So now that he has his sword, he makes his way into the forest, because in this game you need to collect 8 instruments to wake up a windfish that is sleeping on top of the Tao mountain. Because apparently the story of this game is Link is in a dream. He is like caught in a dream of a windfish, and he needs to wake him up so he can get out of there. So he needs to collect 8 instruments to wake him up. And of course, in every Zelda game, there has to be an owl. And this owl talks forever. So entering the forest now, he will open up a chest in this log cave right here. He's gonna line himself up so he can spin slash and destroy the true crystals. Yeah, he did it. And every time he opens up a chest, he's gonna open up the save and quit menu. Because after you open up a chest, there's going to be a text, but he can skip it if he pulls up the save and quit menu. And here's the first little trick in the game. It's called Moblin Skip. He tries to damage boost over the pit using the arrow of this moblin, but the moblin has to face up. So here he got it very nice. And here he tries to open up the start menu. As soon as he opens the chest, opens the save and quit menu, that skips the text of this all. That's what we call all skip. So he gets the dungeon 1 key and skips getting the powder to use that on the raccoon there, so he gets access to the key that way. So now that he has the key, he first needs some items to continue with the run. So he's going to play a minigame that's called Trendy Game. Hopefully he gets it first try. What he's aiming for is getting the powder, so he doesn't have to use the mushroom, go to the witch, get the powder that way. Nice little glitch he's doing there. Now that he has the powder, In this game, you can actually steal items from the shop right here. When the shopkeeper is turning away from the door, you want to exit and you're holding an item, you can just walk past him. So he's gonna manipulate him like this, yeah. And he steals a shovel, and when he re-enters, he has to die. That's kinda how the game is. And from now on, his file name is called Thief. He's gonna buy 2 sets of bombs here. Probably. Let me check. No, he's going to 1 bomb strat. Alright. That's also fine. So he also bought some bombs. That's gonna be useful later. And of course the bow. So he steals the bow so he doesn't have to pay 980 rupees, I think it is. And now on his way to the dungeon 1, he's gonna kill some enemies. Oh, he did something really crazy there. He tried to boost him over that pit so it doesn't need to walk around. But yeah, he's going to kill some enemies so he can manipulate a certain drop in the game that's called the Piece of Power. It's like a short piece of a Triforce that makes him move faster, and he wants it to drop in Dungeon 2 specifically. And here again opens the save and quit menu for the chest. Dungeon 1 is pretty straightforward. It just kills some enemies, get some keys. But after he gets the dungeon item in this dungeon, the feather, things are kinda getting a little bit crazier. And we're starting with the glitches. So in this room he just tries to bonk the spikes with his shield and kill them with his spin slash. Yep. Alright. So he wall clips into that wall, so he can set up something we call spike boost. He got it right there, really nice. Now here has the feather, and this game, if you wall clipped into a wall and you jump and you use something to redirect yourself in the other direction, the game thinks you're jumping off a ledge. He's gonna show it right here. This is what we call super jump. So he wall clips, jumps, redirects himself with the bow shot, and he can jump across that little key block there. That's what we call super jump. But he has to be wall clipped. That's really important. He did another one right there. So this boss, like every mini boss in the game, dies from like 2 bow shots. The bosses in this game aren't really that hard, except this boss right here, the Moldorm. Really good fight. He did the fastest strat, which involves a spin attack, which does like double damage. And that's Dungeon 1. So, now that he has finished Dungeon 1, he's going to go to the forest area again, kill some more enemies, because he still wants that piece of power drop to happen in Dungeon 2. On the way there, just like a little movement tech here and there, trying to not get damaged by enemies. Yeah, doing a spin attack here. Got 3 enemies, that's really good. RNG played in his favor. So, the main reason we play on the Japanese version is that those little 2 kids have like a 18-20 second long text in the English version, but in Japanese they have like 1 text box and you can close it with B, and that's about it. Saves 18 seconds just playing on the Japanese version. Yeah, really good movement from him here. That's why he's one of the top runners. So, in this run, we are getting a chain dog. I don't know how to call it. Ball and chain dog. But his name is Bow Wow. And he can be a jerk, but he's also our friend and buddy. He can be nice, he can be not so nice. It really depends how his mood is. So we need him in order for him to eat 2 flowers, no, 1 flower, so we can access Dungeon 2. Without him, it won't be possible. So we get him here. Normally in the game you return Bow Wow, but in the speedrun we don't return him, because it is faster to actually keep him. So coming up is a glitch. Black is gonna wall clip and using a text box to clip through the rocks right here. Because the text box actually pushes Link 1 more pixel to the left. So let's see if Bow Wow can eat a flower fast. This is really RNG dependent. And that's average luck. So right here, he's gonna light the torches, kill those 2 enemies, and one of them will drop the piece of power. And that makes him do double damage with his sword, and he has double the movement speed, which speeds up this dungeon really, really much. A chain chomp, I'm sorry. It's called a chain chomp, yes. So in Dungeon 2 he wants to continue killing some enemies, because he wants to have another piece of power drop happening in Dungeon 3. So the next mini boss here, he's just gonna slash him 4 times and he dies. Easy boss. Okay, let's see what strat he uses here. So yeah, this is a glitch. If you stand on top of the on door and wait till the ghosts come to you and you jump and you slash them, they will just go out of the screen and count as dead. So in this room, this is the boss key room in Dungeon 2. So he needs to kill the enemies in a specific order. The pulse voice, the bunny first, then the keys, the bat, and then last the skeleton soldier there. Really nice. So the Dungeon 2 boss is the genie in a vase. So what he's going to do here is, the genie is going to shoot 8 fireballs. After that, the genie will go into this vase and jumps towards Link and tries to damage him. And we need to slash the vase and pick him up and throw him into a wall like 3 times. But he's gonna instead pick up the vase, wall clip in the top left corner. That makes the vase instantly explode, and he's just gonna place a bomb there. The boss gets boosted into him and he uses a bomb arrow, which instantly kills the boss. That's the genie quick kill. Really good here. So in case you don't know, if you have the bomb and arrows equipped, if you press both buttons at the same time, you actually shoot a bomb arrow, like a bomb attached to the arrow, which also makes boom. So that's Dungeon 2. Alright, now on his way to Dungeon 3, normally you need to get 5 feathers in a golden leaves in a castle called Castle Camelot Castle. But we're just gonna skip all that and use something we call Villa Escape or Villa Skip. How this works is, when Link falls into a pit, there's 1 frame where the sound of Link falling into a pit plays, and if you pause buffer that frame, you can actually screen transition, because the game thinks you're still standing on solid ground. So he's gonna do it right here. I actually don't have sound, so I hope he gets it. So he's gonna buffer till he has it nice. That was a 1 or 2 buffer? That's really good. So he's actually digging up a golden leaf here, but that's actually the dungeon 3 key. So it's just the other sprite. So how he gets out of here is he's gonna line him up, and the game pushes him out of the cage there, out of the garden, because the game needs to put Link somewhere where he can stand, and the next available square is outside. And here he can just put in the key from there, if he holds out the sword. So, Dungeon 3. Yeah, he just has to kill all enemies. Oh, that's kinda decent RNG. So he's gonna kill a couple more enemies here, because he wants the piece of power drop again, which helps him a lot in this dungeon. There's another super jump to save some time. Oh, don't grape the acorn. Okay, nice. So coming up is a trick which can potentially softlock the game if you screw it up. But Black is such a good runner, he can probably get it first try both times. So he's gonna super jump and bonk off the Dodongo here and get him past them, which we call Dodongo skip. And he's doing another super jump here and gets easy access to the boots. That's a fairly new discovered trick. It's like a couple months old now. So now he gets the boss key. He pretty much skips 2 keys in the dungeon. He's gonna do one more Dodongo skip right here. Again, super jump and bonking off those Dodongos. Really nice. And here he can just do another flock clip, what we call it. Let the text box push him past the key block using the text box. Okay, kill all 3 enemies here, and coming up this boss is kinda a little bit trolly if you use the piece of power. He's gonna bonk twice here, because if the boss jumps down he can actually stun you. And he's just doing a quick strat with a couple of bonks, slashing them twice, because piece of power does double damage and it's an easy kill. Really good, really nice by Black. So, time to explain bomb triggers. So, there's a huge glitch in this game, which skips so much of the game, which we call bomb triggers. He's gonna do one. Nope, he's not doing this one to skip the all. So, normally, to enter Dungeon 4, first he has to get the Ocarina, get Marin, learn the song from Marin, do huge like a fetch quest, but he can skip all that because there's a glitch in the game. If you use a bomb as your screen transition, and after you screen transitioned, it sounds a little bit weird, but it makes all sense. The game handles it like it just starts the cutscene using 2 bombs. It's a double frame perfect trick, but you can just buffer it. It's really easy. So he's... even though he doesn't have Marin, he can just wake up the Walrus that way using a bomb trigger. But he has to be really careful, because if he messes up, the game will softlock. Because he can't use any items or his start menu. And looks like he got it, really nice. Now the Walrus is out of the way. But right now he can't use any items, so he needs to enter a house or a cave. And conveniently there's a cave right up here. He's just gonna enter and leave. And he's gonna kill this Landmolar boss without him even appearing. Because the hitbox is there before the boss even... before the sprites are there. Really nice. So now that he has the Dungeon 4 key, he just needs to unlock Dungeon 4, which is hidden behind a waterfall. So he's just gonna use the portal conveniently right here, which skips a lot of backtracking. So from here on, he doesn't want Bow Wow to eat that many enemies, because Bow Wow can eat enemies at random. Because he kinda want to manage how many kills he has for the piece of power drop in Dungeon 5, which is a huge time saver if you get it. If you don't get it, you'd probably lose like 30 seconds straight. So this is a really huge RNG part from Bow Wow. So it's really hard to navigate through this area because there's a lot of enemies. And they can get in your way, you get hit a bunch and lose a couple of seconds that way. So he doesn't get hit that much, only one hit so far. Really nice. So he unlocked Dungeon 4, now he has to climb Tall Mountain so he can jump down from it, which doesn't break Link's legs apparently, but it's how the game plays out. So in this cave there's a small trick which we call obstacle skip, which is a 0.5 second time saver. Not really, it's like a couple frames. But the time save is the time save, and it tries to get it 2 times. It skips breaking this block right here, he can just jump past it. So movement in water works like, it's faster to jump through water because it slows you down. So he tries to jump as much as possible in water. Okay, Dungeon 4. We are actually not gonna finish this dungeon just yet, we're just gonna get the dungeon item, which are the flippers, and leave the dungeon, because I'm gonna explain when we're out of Dungeon 4. So right here he's gonna jump past it, really nice. That's actually quite difficult to do that, what you just did there, to jump around that block. And here he's just gonna skip half of the dungeon, doing that jump here. If you're wall clip, you can just jump to the upper part. And another easy mini boss here. You can just spin attack him 4 times and let him stun locked. Really nice. Now he has the flippers. He can't save and quit, but conveniently to exit this dungeon, there's this portal from the mini-boss, and he's just gonna leave. So the reason he leaves right now is, if he would finish Dungeon 4 right at this moment, there would be a ghost, which we call Fernando Torres, because he kinda looks like him. There would be this ghost following him, and he won't be able to enter any dungeons as long as he has the ghost with him. So he kinda has to do a mini quest, like bring him to his house and then bring him to his grave, which wastes a lot of time. So after you beat Dungeon 6 in this game, the ghost won't follow you anymore after you beat Dungeon 4, because the trigger is gone. Because the game thinks, oh, you beat Dungeon 6, that means you also brought the ghost home? Okay, Dungeon 5, which is the least favorite dungeon of any LIDX runner, because they can be going so much wrong. So in this room he wants his piece of power. There he is. Nice. That saves a bunch of time going through this dungeon. He loses a piece of power though if he gets hit 3 times, so he needs to avoid getting hit, and he already got hit once, so he needs to be a little more careful. Nice, he grabs the key and then backtracks. There's the jump he can do, it's frame perfect. I didn't go for it. Which skips going through the lower part of the iron road section there. You can just jump across. So he needs to fight the skeleton boss 4 times. The first and fourth fight he needs to hit him 3 times with a bomb. And the second and third time he just needs 2 bombs. So he has different strats on on whichever skeleton boss he's fighting. So right here he's just gonna have his own visual cue. Slash him right there, place another bomb. Easy. He's going to do that for the third time too. And in this run we need a lot of bombs, so conveniently in this dungeon there's a bomb pickup right here. And he's killing a couple more enemies because he's hoping for a dungeon 6 piece of power drop. Which is not really required, but it saves a bunch of time. So, there's a new tech found. We can actually super jump without using any items. If we kinda line us up perfectly and do some stuff. Some pixel stuff. So right here, he's gonna jump across the pit, skipping the hookshot, and getting the boss key that way. Normally you need the hookshot, but having piece of power helps a lot with that jump. I didn't know you could wall clip there and avoid damage from the spikes. The more you know. Nice. Really nice Bavlek. Oh, and that's not good. He lost his piece of power. But it's right at the end of the dungeon, so it's fine. He actually wants to lose it at the end of the dungeon. It's a little bit early, but it's still fine. He got to use piece of power most of the dungeon. So he's just gonna bomb arrow this boss 3 times, and finally the skeleton masters that, and he can get the hookshot. And the hookshot in this game is only really required to beat Dungeon 5 boss. Oh, he gets another piece of power. He didn't want it. It's actually bad to grab it right now. Because he has to get hit 3 times again. Unless he does piece of power Dungeon 5 boss. Which is really hard. Let's see if he gets hit or not. Yeah, he's taking some intentional damage. He wants to lose it again. Really nice. Using a damage boost. What he did right there is kind of swag and a little bit faster than going the other way. So this boss is supposedly RNG. He can pop off any of those 4 holes, but during a certain strat and movement, we can kind of manipulate it and always get a 2 cycle. Never mind. He was a little bit late on that hookshot shot, but he should still be fine. He got 5 hits there, which is good. Yeah, he's a little bit off sync now, but it's still fine. And it's dead. Nice. Horrible D5. Horrible D5, he says. That looked like my D5. How I play D5. So no, at least he's done with D5. That's the worst part of the run. Getting out of D5 ahead of your PB is really, really hard. So now that he has finished Dungeon 5, he's gonna go to the Dungeon 6 area. And in order to open up Dungeon 6, he needs another key. And it's in the Armos Maze. And Bauer can be a real bro here if he eats some enemies that are blocking his way. And also the Armos Bauer eats drop an arrow, and he wants a couple arrow drops so he can skip another refill later in Dungeon 8. Bomb Fairy trolling him a little bit. Let's see how Bow Wow does. Good, eats one enemy in his way. Yeah, really good first part. So right now he's doing a strat which we call boot strats. He's gonna do a couple of bonks into the wall. And kill the boss with boots and sword. Charged attacks. Normally you have to use the arrows, or you can use spin slashes to damage the boss. But doing the boot strats is the fastest way. Really good from him here. Everyone has his own. Every LADX runner has his own kind of style of doing the boot strats. There are multiple ways. So I'm kinda amazed how Vlad did it right there. Haven't seen that one. If he goes left side, it's a little bit slower going around, but the Armos gets always eaten by Bow Wow, so he doesn't have to do another equip right there. And this is the infamous Solax jump. He gets it first try. And in case you don't know, the cutscenes in this game are actual sprites, and Bow Wow can eat them. So Bow Wow just eat in cutscene, so Vlad can just leave the screen and enter the screen again, and the dungeon entrance is open, which skips the dungeon going up from the ground. Alright, Dungeon 6. A couple of cool kills here, manipulating enemy movements to kill them faster. And this is Featherless underground section right here. Really nice, didn't get trolled that hard. Okay. Now he gets level 2 bracelets, can pick up these elephant statues. So, every Zelda game has these rooms where like flying tiles from the ground. In this game, there's a glitch if you use the hookshot 2 times at a pot, like really quickly in fast succession, you get this glitch where you can't get hit. You're just invincible. Right here, he's doing a precise bomb drop, knocks one of the Viscerobes in there and kills all 4 of them with 1 bomb. Right here, he's lining himself up in order to do super jumps. In order to open his chest, you need to throw a pot at him. Wow, nice. Really nice by Vlack. Those super jumps were really good. I haven't seen that one where you bonk off a wall and use the bonk of the wall to super jump. That's really nice. So this room is purely RNG. He's gonna throw both horse heads, and he gets it first try, of course, while I try to explain it. Nice. Marathon luck. Normally those horse heads can be really trolly, and he needs to throw them at the wall so they stand up straight. But it doesn't always happen that you get it first try, so sometimes you're throwing them at the wall 15 times and then you get it, or sometimes you need 7 tries. Like 4 to 5 tries is like average, so getting it first try is really good. So this is Facade, really easy boss. You just throw bombs on the ground and time them a little bit, so when the face pops up, the bomb explodes and you damage him. You can damage him 3 times before he even appears, so you need to use 5 bombs in order to kill Facade. So easy boss. So now that he has finished Dungeon 6, he's actually going to backtrack to Dungeon 4 and finish that. Now that he has finished Dungeon 6, the ghost won't follow him anymore after he finishes Dungeon 4. And it's also right on the way. Yeah, that D6 was really good. First try horse heads was really good. Nice. He did another bomb trigger there, which is like triggering a cutscene. And by doing that, he saved 3 seconds because he skipped the animation of the all flying in and flying out. But the text is still there. So I hear a little bit about learning this game in the chat. Feel free to hit us up on Discord or on the speedruns.com website. We are an open community. You can freely join, ask questions. If you need help, we are there for you to help you. We get like a couple of runners every now and then, new runners. And we have a huge community too. And we do weekly races too. And of course it's an interesting, fun run to do. So right here he's doing a super jump and using the P head right there to bong himself over the pit, and not over the pit, over the ledge right there to grab the boss key that way. And he doesn't have to do the underground section and grab some keys, which skips a lot. And this is the freest boss of the game. Yeah, that's about it. That's the freest boss. He just swims up and down, spawns some fishies, doesn't do that much. So, coming up is a trick in the game, which is kinda hard to do if you do it unbuffered. But if you want a top time in this game, you kinda want to do it unbuffered, but it's actually quite difficult. again, the glitch where there's a frame in the game where the game thinks Link is standing on solid ground when he falls into a pit. We're kinda using that, but instead of the falling sound, we're using the hookshot, and there's a frame when the hookshot comes back to Link that the game thinks he's standing on solid ground. So we're going to try to jump over this huge pit using the hookshot and the feather without falling down. So it's frame perfect trick, and he needs to hit the jump twice. So I wonder if he's doing it buffered or unbuffered. And if you fail it, you lose like 20 to 30 seconds. Another obstacle skip right here. Nice, 2 out of 2. Run is valid. So he's gonna enter this cave right here. Right. Gonna use the hookshot there. Really nice by Black, unbuffered. Really, really good. That trick is really, really hard to. That skips getting the rooster, also skipping the ocarina again because we never got the ocarina, and getting the rooster we need to have the frog song, which costs money, and you need to do a little like mini game. So we skip all that. We can just jump over the cave right there, over the pit. So now that he has the key, he's gonna enter dungeon 7, which is by far my favorite dungeon of the game. It's really fun now that we have really new cool tech that involves that goes around dungeon 7. Before we had this threat that we would still use the ball in the dungeon, because in dungeon 7 the gimmick is there's like 4 pillars and you need to destroy all 4 pillars, so the upper part of the dungeon comes down a level so you can actually climb it. And here again the cutscene is the sprite and Bow Wow can eat it, so that skips the tower turning around. So we found out that we can actually bomb trigger the towers, the 4 pillars. So we're just gonna skip the ball, use bomb triggers to bring down all 4 pillars so we can access the boss. But in order to do the first one, we have to kill the soul right there. It is mandatory. He's gonna use the pit here, throw down some bombs in it, and the pillars just fall down. It's magic. Again, those bomb triggers are frame perfect. He's just that good. I use buffers. But Black is a top runner. Really nice. And really quick. That would be like a 30-second gold for me. So now that he has destroyed all 4 pillars, the upper level came down and he can access the boss. And we found out that we can actually use the Goombas right here. Let's see if he does it. Yes, he's going for it. This is a really hard, huge RNG part. Oh, almost. He's gonna use the Goombas right here in order to go to the upper level. Really nice. This gives the boss key and going around. There's an alternate strat where you can use another P head to get on top of blocks and skip a bunch. I'll skip a part of the dungeon to also get to the boss, but it's a little bit slower than doing the Goomba strat. So right here we don't have the mirror shield to actually fight the boss, So we're just gonna hang out on the ladder right there, throw some bombs, and the boss gets actually damaged by bombs. So we do this 3 times, and the boss is dead. Really easy. Bombs are really overpowered in this game. Like, in which Zelda game aren't bombs not useful? So that's 7 dungeons down, there's only 1 more missing. Nice. So he's gonna open the save and quit menu here in order to not fall into the pit right there. Yeah, the bombs in this game don't even hurt you, which is the best part. But if they did, we could have clipped into other stuff, so it's probably good that they don't hurt you, or this game would be even more broken. So right here, Marin is just chilling on this bridge. We never saved her, and we never will save her, so she's just gonna stay on the bridge right there for the rest of the game. Alright. So because we are not supposed to have Bow Wow on this part of the game, the sprites are a little bit messed up right here. The modrooms are kinda glitchy and everything is freaking out. Yeah, save the frames, kill Marin. So because we don't have the mirror shield, normally there's this huge flame spitter. I don't know how to call it, huge flame. But in order, we can just wall clip and get past it that way, so it won't knock us back. And here's another bomb trigger, which opens up dungeon 8. You need to kill that specific moblin right there. Nice. Really good. So normally you need the frog song to fight this boss, but when the boss spawns, there won't be a hitbox and you can just run past him. Very nice. He's gonna use a bomb arrow here to open a secret passage. So Link can push blocks sideways if you're lined up correctly. You just push the block and it opens up sideways. So he's gonna pick up some extra arrows here, because they're important for the last boss. So this is the minimalist Blano. Quick shout out to bring back Blano Skip. So he's just gonna kill him, spin attack him 4 times and he's dead. Normally you can skip him, but it is considered out of bounds according to the rules. But I'm a huge fan of this trick. So I always feel bad when I don't skip him. So he gets a fire rod right here, which can melt these icy blocks. Here's another cue ball fight, which is also just gonna spin attack 4 times. So in this block puzzle right here, Link can't move, but he can jump, so he's just gonna use some jumps to line him up exactly right where the chest will spawn after he's done with the puzzle. Nice. So coming up again, using the same trick. Normally Link would fall into a pit, but at the same frame he would normally fall into the pit. The game considers him standing on solid ground, so he can jump off the lava right there. Using the splashes as the cue. And this is the cue. What's this? Hot head fight? Using the fire rod a couple of times. And it's basically not RNG, but the health of this boss is really weirdly coded. So sometimes you need like 1 million fire rod damages on him. Also shoutouts to the Wang. So what he just did right there is using the fire rod as he grabs the instrument right there, the rod will stick out between his legs, which we call the Wang. It's swag. So now that he has all 8 instruments, he's gonna wake up the windfish in his egg. But he doesn't have the ocarina, so he's going to use one last bomb trigger to open up the egg, which lets him play the cutscene for the ocarina playing. So he's just gonna line him up right after the alt text right here. Really nice. Enjoy the music. I'm gonna drink something.
Is that time or what?
No, not time.
Okay.
There's still the last boss.
I'm confused.
No, it's not time. There's still the last boss happening. It's just a long cutscene which plays really good music. No, my stream my stream froze. Now that the windfish is opened, it's like a huge labyrinth. And normally you need the magic lens to read up a book, which way you need to go, but there's always a way you can go, which is coded in the game. And it's always the same pattern. It's left, up, right, up, left, up. And that's the way you get to the boss. And he's gonna spam his bomb button in order to get a text skip right here. And he got it. Which makes the blob go into the upper wall right there. And he's gonna line him up in order to quick kill this blob. My stream froze again. I don't know if he got it. Looks like he got it, and now he fights Aghanim. The first 2 shots he does are blue balls, not blue balls, are normal energy balls. He wants to deflect those energy balls towards Aghanim to damage him. The first 2 are always energy balls. After that it's 50-50 if he throws a non-reflectable ball, which we call blue ball, or normal energy ball, so it's 50-50 after the second energy ball. Nice, looks like he got 0 blue balls, which is really good. Oh, he's still going. Yeah, 0 blue balls. Nice. And he's gonna line himself up right here. Do a spin slash, kill the Moldorm. And now he's fighting Ganon. Just gonna use his boots and run into him. And after that phase, there's the Landmola phase, which we will never see because he's just gonna spin attack him and Landmola's dead. And this is the final fight. This is Deathful. And he's gonna wait for him to open his eyes so he can shoot arrows into him. He needs 16 arrows in total. Nice. Looks like good RNG for him here. Not anymore. I jinxed it.
Oh, time. You,
Time,
you didn't
nice.
go time. Well, very nice run. Also, if I can have a moment, Anonymous donated $500
Wow.
with the comment
nice.
50 towards Sonic 3 and Knuckles as Knuckles, so that run is definitely being done as Knuckles. 50 towards Mighty Switch Force Hyperdrive Edition with gym clothes. 50 towards Sonic 2 as Knuckles. So whoever this person is really likes Knuckles for whatever reason, and $350 towards the Freedom Planet Tassiles, which means that only needs about like just slightly shy of like $400 to be met. Remaining. Anonymous, huh? I probably know who that is, but if they wish to remain anonymous, then I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, really
Nevertheless, thank you, dude.
nice. Really nice.
That's
run by
crazy.
It's really generous.
Yeah, that was a good run. Maybe what was the time, by the way?
It's 54.
Oh, right, yeah. 54-52.
Oof! Whoa! I didn't expect it that
54.
time. Wow. And about of the incentive for this run, the extra